G'day all, welcome back to Built by Chris. In this episode I'm going to be turning a pen. As you all know, I recently purchased a mini lathe for myself, and I'm going to turn the pen today just to see if it works well. If you want to see how it all comes out, follow me and let's have a look. Now I'm going to turn the pen out of this nice piece of blackwood, I believe it is. Dirk gave it to me a little while ago and I thought this would be a good little piece to turn into a pen. So I'm going to mill it up and get it ready to make a blank. Okay, so here's my pen blank. And here's one of the tubes that I'm going to use. So all I'm going to do now, from what I've seen on the videos, is I'm just going to mark it off, leave a little bit extra on either side, and then I'm going to put a line down the middle so I know grain orientation. Alright, so let's head off to the bandsaw and give that a quick cut. Okay, so there are my two blanks, all cut to the right size now. Next step is I've got to drill a 7mm hole straight through the guts of these. Now I bought my my scroll chuck, which fits into my lathe, and I'm able to do that on the lathe. So rather than go to the drill press, let's do this on the lathe and just drill a hole straight through the middle. Okay, here's my scroll chuck already set up in the lathe. Now my blank goes in here all the way, and I'll just tighten that up so it doesn't go anywhere. There we go, that's all nice and tight. I'll bring the drill bit up to it, lock that down so it doesn't move, and away we go. There we go, that's through. Okay, let's take that out now. And there we have a hole right through the middle of that. Perfect. I'll just go ahead and do the other one now. Okay, I've got my two pen blanks here already drilled out, as you can see. There they are. Still got the line in the middle there, so I know the grain orientation, which way that goes. Now I've got my pen kit here. It's a slim line, and I've gone for the copper colour on this one. So all I need is the two tubes for the time being. Put all the rest of this away. Okay, so I'm going to be gluing these two tubes into here. So that's my next step. Okay, so I put my gloves on because I don't like to get super glue all over my fingers. Now I bought the largest gloves they had, and as you can see, they're a tight fit to say the least. But anyway, I've got my cyanoacrylate, my CA or super glue. This is the medium one. And I've got the kicker that goes with it, so the accelerator. So all I've got to do now is pop these two in here. So let's go ahead and do that. First thing I've got to do is I've got to scuff these up so that the super glue's got something to cling to. So there we go, that's nice and roughed up. Do the other one. That'll do. Okay, let's get these bottles ready here. Okay. So I'm just going to coat this in super glue, like so. Poke it into the hole, spin it around, up and down, pop it in, so that it's, there we go, it's not poking out that end. Put a bit of activator on it, squirt and squirt. So that one's done. Let's do the other one. In she goes, spin it around, pop that in there, squirt and squirt. So that's done. Okay. So there we have it. Those two tubes are now glued in. Next step is to mill those pieces around so that the tube is flush with the end of the blank, like that. So let's go do that now. Now this pen mill set that I bought, unfortunately the 7mm cutter here is a little bit bent. So I'm going to have to do it manually, push it through manually to get it in there. But I'll be definitely giving the people a call on Monday morning to tell me that they sold me a bent pen milling kit. But be that as it may, I need to drill this in, so let's get on with it. Now the idea is I've got to get down to that little tube and no further. That's why I'm trying to creep up on it here. It looks like I'm there already. Alright, so I'll turn that off. Let's have a quick look. Now I've got just a little bit more to go. About another mil, so let's get that done. So look at that, I think I might be there now. Okay, turn around, I'll just trim up the other side and we'll be good to go. Okay, I went ahead and I got everything ready for turning. I got the pen mandrel in the headstock, which goes all the way through and is supported at the other end by this live center. So that just sits in there. Everything's so it supports it all, so it won't be flapping around in the breeze. I've got the two blanks in there with the orientation still going through. As you can see, I've got the pen mark, so I know which way the orientation is, the grain pattern. I've got a couple of spaces at either end. I've got some bushings. Now these bushings are the thickness that I'll be turning down to, and there's one in the middle here as well. So that's the thickness that I'm going down to. I've got my tool rest all set up. There's my my tool, my turning tool. Might be just a little bit close, so I might just pull that back a little bit. Here we go. And away we go. So that's spinning nicely. I'm just going to turn it up a fraction and we'll rough them down. That's coming up really nicely, so let's keep going. I'll bring that in a little bit closer now. Okay, let's keep going. Alright, now I've got to stop a little bit shy of these bushings. And what I'll basically do is sand down to that. So I'm leaving myself a little bit of sanding space. So there we go. Beautiful. There we go. And look at that. Beautiful. Alright, I'll get the sandpaper out now and get that ready. Okay, so I'm starting off here with a little bit of 180. Now don't look at the sandpaper because I don't have any square sheets. So I'll go get some later, but I'm just going to give this a bit of a sand. So this is just the 180, taking off most of the tool marks through it. It already feels so much better. Now the one thing everyone keeps telling me is once you finish doing that, go against the grain, which I've done there. Look at that, these are coming up a treat. Now I'm nearly down to the mandrels here, so I've got to be very careful. So my next piece that I'm getting out is my 240, and I'll give that a sand with a bit of 240. Now I'm not putting any pressure on it, I'm just letting the sandpaper do all the work here. There we go. Look at that, it's coming up a treat. That is looking really, really nice. Okay, so I've got a little bit more sanding to do. I'll just sand these down and get it down to the mandrel and we can do the finishing. Okay, now we'll get into the finishing. Let me get set up for that. Okay, got everything ready. I've given the pen a bit of a clean to get all the dust and everything off it, and I'm going to do what they call the super glue finish. So what I've got is some thin here, thin CA, and I'm just going to dab it on. I've got pieces of paper towel already cut, ready to go. What I'm just going to do is fold them up as I'm using them and then just toss them out because they're only good for one use. So the first step is to put on probably about 5 or 6 coats of this, of the thin one, and I'll hit it with the activator in between. So let's go ahead and start the process. Oh, there you go. You learn something new every day. Don't press too hard. So there's the first coat. Hit it with some activator and get on with the next coat. Okay, now it looks as rough as guts at the moment, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to be hitting it with some sandpaper to smooth it all down. All I'm doing is just building up all the coats now. One thing I've learnt, don't press too hard because you'll burn your finger. Okay, let's just keep going on with it. Okay, I've lost count, but that's I think about 6 coats of the thin. Hit it with some activator. Okay, that's about 6 coats of the thin. That's dry. And now I'll put about, I don't know, 6 or 7 coats of the thick on. So let's do that. Now I've lost count, but I've got a few coats on there now. It's building up. Starting to get a bit rough around the edges, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm going to be sanding all that down to a nice smooth finish. Okay, I've got enough coats on there, so let me clean this mess up and I'll get the sandpaper out ready for the next step. Okay, I've already started sanding down a little bit. I've taken down all the rough edges and I've hit it with the first 1500 grit of the colour sanding blocks that I've got, and it's feeling a lot better already. And I'm just going to work my way down the grits now. So the next one I'm going to hit it with is the 1800. Now I've got them all in a little tank of water here, so it's wet sanding that I'll be doing. There's that grit there. Move on to the next one, which is 2400. Okay, let's have a look at that, see how that looks. Look at that, starting to look nice and shiny now. Still a couple of rough spots in there, but I'll take those down. I'll just head back up to the 1500 grit, just to knock it down a little bit harder. Okay, now I'm going to use the 3200. Okay, let's see how that looks. Getting a really nice shine on it now. Still a little bit rough in some of these spots. I guess it's all a learning curve. I mean, this is the first time I've ever done it. So the application of the super glue, I think, is critical. But it's getting a nice smooth finish on it. So let's keep going. Next one I'll hit it with is the 3600. Now the 4000. And now the 6000. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, definitely with the super glue, I need to be a little bit more careful with that to make sure it's an even spread. but it's polishing up beautifully. So, like I said, for a first go, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, let's keep the polishing process up. I've got 2 more grits to go, the 8,000 and then the 12,000. So let's get that out the way. And the last grit, the 12,000, which basically is just a polishing rag. Now let's have a look at this. Okay, now that feels nice and smooth to the touch. Let's get some water off this, I don't want it to rust. Feels nice and smooth to the touch. Little lumpy in spots because probably the way I applied the super glue. But again, like I said, first time ever, I'm pretty happy with that finish. Okay, now there is one more step I can do. I bought some Triple E paste, which will probably bring it up a little bit more. So let me just go get that and we'll give that a go. Okay, here's the Triple E paste. Open that up. Now it's a cut and polish wax for turners and restorers. That's what it is. So let's give it a go and see what that turns out like. Actually, what I might do is just apply it like this for now. And now we'll buff it off with a clean one. Oh, it's made it a lot smoother. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let me get it out of this now and I'll start putting it together. Okay, I'm all set up here now. I've got my pen press. I've got my 2 pieces ready to go. There we go there. I'll just pop them here. Now here's all the pieces that I need. So let's get those out. Okay, so I've got the end piece with the clip, they go together. I've got the nib, goes at this end, and I've got the middle ring, which goes here, and this is apparently called the transmission, which is what this screws into. So let's get everything ready. First things first, I'll put the nib in. Open that up. Oop, and we'll press it into here. Let me set this up. Now you don't have to buy a pen press apparently. There's a million different ways you can do this, but me being me, I thought I'd get one. So I've got all that nicely lined up and I'm just going to press that on. Make sure it goes on nice and straight. There we go. Nib is on. Next piece is the transmission. Now there's a ring on here, and apparently I'm not supposed to press it past that. So let's be exceptionally careful. I'll just move this out a little bit further. So that goes into here. Might have to open that up a bit further. Well, that's annoying. Alright, okay. Let's press that in. I don't want to go past that ring, and there it is. So that's in. The next piece is the clip and this end piece. So let's pop those on here. That can go on here. So now I've got to push all this back in again. Okay. There we go. It's pressed on there beautifully. And that's it with the pen press. Take the protective wax off the end of this. Just now screws into here. Get the ring. That goes in between the two pieces, like that. And there we have it. One pen. How's that? My first ever pen. Got to be happy with that. And there it is. My first ever pen. My first ever pen. Am I happy with it? Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Could it have turned out better? Of course it could have. But for a first go, I'm pretty happy with it. There's a few niggly bits with the CA glue. I'm pretty sure that's the more I do it, the better I'm going to get with it. The next time I turn a pen, I'm going to use maybe a shellac or some waxes or some sort of different finish, maybe even a polyurethane. I don't know. Who knows, I might even buy some acrylic pen blanks and give them a go. This is something that I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot of fun with. The end product, like I said, is a nice pen. It's a nice pen. Now, if you liked what you saw on this one, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw on this one, give me a thumbs down. But again, if you give me a thumbs down, all I ask is you give me a reason why you gave me that thumbs down. That way I can work on future videos and make them better. And with that, I'll end this video. Now, just a quick one. I'm still working on my sister's liquor cabinet. It's taking longer to make than Rome, I'm thinking. But it's getting there. The weather's starting to fine up a little bit. It was raining today, but other than that, the weather's getting a little bit finer. So I'll be spending a little bit more time out in the shed, in the workshop, and that's it basically. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.